then, as you're leaving the experiment where you've just been made to feel bad about yourself, there's a mirror in the hallway. You are less likely to look at yourself in the mirror if you have just been made to feel bad about yourself than if you have not been made to feel bad about yourself. Why should this be the case? Well, the idea is that we don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror when we feel bad, because if we look at ourselves in the mirror when we feel bad, it basically forces us to make a dispositional attribution. It makes us feel like a bad person, whereas if we look in the mirror, we can continue with our situational attributions. So the objective self-awareness of seeing ourselves in the mirror forces us to make this more dispositional attributions for ourselves. So when we're in a bad mood or we feel like we've done something bad, we want to avoid mirrors so we don't have to make negative dispositional attributions for ourselves. In a complementary way, there is evidence that having to look at yourself in the mirror makes people behave better, makes people more altruistic and more pro-social. On the idea that the way we see ourselves, what we see ourselves doing in the mirror is going to sort of imprint ourselves as this is our disposition. So we really want to do good things in the mirror so we can make positive dispositional attributions for ourselves. So one particularly dramatic and beautiful example of the effects of objective self-awareness on our behavior. This was a study of cheating, and the researchers hypothesized that if we are sensitive to dispositional attributions when we are confronted with ourselves in a mirror in these objective self-awareness paradigms, we should be less likely to cheat when there's a mirror facing us, because we don't want to have to make the dispositional attribution that we are a cheater. So in this study, subjects come to the lab, and they're told that they're going to be, in this study, where they're sitting at a desk in a room, and just there so happens to be in the testing room a mirror. And for half the subjects, the mirror is facing you as you complete the experiment. Subjects are told that the mirror is left over from another study, so you can just ignore it. But realizing that people might be suspicious that they were being observed from behind the mirror, they actually gave subjects the opportunity to look behind the mirror so they could see that there was no video camera hiding there. Now, anytime a psychologist shows you that there's no video camera hiding where you think there's one hiding, that just means that it's hiding somewhere else. And in fact, nowadays you have to show, here's the mirror that you think is hiding, and then here's the one that's turned off that you think is hiding. So basically you need two fake video cameras to trick people now, because people have gotten twice as fast. But goes without saying, there was a really good video camera hidden somewhere else, but subjects think the mirror is really innocuous, but they can see themselves. Other half of the subjects, the mirror is still there, still left over from a different study, but it's facing away from you. Subjects are given difficult anagrams to solve, and they're told to make them care about it. This is kind of like an IQ test. As we'll see later today, on Wednesday, that gets our anxiety up in a sense. That makes us interested in our performance. Subjects are told that they have 5 minutes to work on them, and the experimenter says, I'm going to leave, and I'll come back when your time is up. But I'm going to set the timer to 5 minutes. And when the timer goes off, saying 5 minutes have passed, please put your pen down and stop working on the anagram until I come back. The dependent variables, these are difficult anagrams, so there's no way in hell to finish anywhere close to them in 5 minutes. So the timer goes off, you've not finished many of the anagrams, you think it's an IQ test, the experimenter is not back. What do you do? The dependent variable is to what extent people continue working on the anagrams even though the timer has gone off. Now let us be clear that doing so is cheating. You have been told to and have agreed to stop working once the timer goes off and to put your pen down. So if you keep working after the timer has gone off, you are cheating because you are providing basically fake performance. Your performance is no longer a function of what you're able to do in 5 minutes. These are, I would say, some of the most dramatic and disturbing results that we might see the whole semester. Let's start with the non-disturbing part. When the mirror is there, only 7% of subjects cheat. So very few subjects, when they have to look at themselves in the mirror, will keep working after the timer has gone off and they're supposed to put their pen down when they've agreed to. So very few people will cheat when they have to look at themselves in the mirror. Now this is going to be one of the biggest effects that we'll see the whole semester, because without the mirror there, 71% of subjects cheat. And that's why I try to be clear that it really is cheating. It's not on an exam like you get a grade for, but it's cheating nonetheless. Your performance is being assessed, and you are using tools other than what's supposed to be available to you to influence your performance. So two things here. One is that people are nasty cheaters, and the other is that, but we don't want to think of ourselves that way, so even though we're going to do it, we're not going to do it if we have to think of ourselves as cheaters. So we'll do it if there's some way of thinking, oh, it's just, if they cared, so, you can imagine what would go on with them. Oh, if they cared so much, they'd come right back in, or they'd stay here and watch us, so they must not really care that much. All these situations have attributions. But if you cheat when you're looking at yourself in a mirror, there's pretty much no doubt you're a cheater. Now, this is one of those areas. The fact that objective self-awareness will make us engage in more good behavior and less bad behavior so that we can make positive dispositional attributions for ourselves and avoid negative dispositional attributions. This is one of those social psychological findings that people in the world of business actually know about. I don't know how many of you have been to the DSW shoe store in downtown Crossing. But apparently I haven't, because I'm going to tell you about it. It's in like one of these old office buildings. And you may have noticed, and they have this in lots of stores too, and there's also the DSW meetings where they sound like it's been all my time's not university. Not true. Going up the escalator to the store, there is a TV screen. And what do you see on the TV screen? Your own lovely face going up the escalator. And there are many stores that have this. There are many stores that have mirrors that have either, that have video footage of you seeing yourself, and other ones where there are mirrors where you can see yourself. Why does DSW have video feed of you going up an escalator that you watch as you go into the store? It's not so that you can think, wow, I really need some new shoes. Because you already think that, you're already going there. They do that because to get you to not steal shoes. And the idea is that if you have to look at yourself going into the store, that is going to put you in a state of objective self-awareness, and that's going to make you more likely to engage in good behavior and less likely to engage in negative behavior. So when we see things like that in the store, or mirrors in stores, that is there to get you to not steal. So this is a case where the social psychological literature is really used for quite reasonable purposes to get people to engage in better behaviors.